Welcome back to Joy Recaps, Movies Stories Recapped here. Today, I'm going to recap horror thriller film called The Bride. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. We once saw a lovely couple who were engaged but had recently married. The boy's name is Ivan, and the girl's name is Nastya. Ivan's sister invites them to her house after a short time, and this new couple relocates to meet her. Ivan's sister greets them as they arrive. Ivan's sister, Liza, informs Nastya that I am a nurse by profession. My children, who live with my father, also live in this house. Ivan's sister shows Nastya around her room, explaining that her grandmother also lives here but has been sick for a long time. As a result, she does not leave her room and remains separate. After a few times, Liza is about to give Nastya a ring and say, "This is our family ring. This has been going on in our family. You are married. But as is our family custom, we will restructure your marriage." We can see Ivan's unhappy expression when we hear his sister, and he intends to return the following day. But Ivan's sister stops him and says, "You can't go. Otherwise, let me warn you that this ring can cause serious harm to anyone who comes into contact with it." Nastya is horrified when she feels the presence of someone in the restroom. When she tells Ivan everything, he says there's nothing to worry about. Just ignore it. It could be your hallucination. And this topic is now closed. It is late at night when Nastya awakens from her sleep to discover that Ivan is not with her. She notices Ivan conversing with her sister as she walks downstairs. Both brothers and sisters are arguing that if we don't do it, satanic power will destroy us all. And Nastya is hearing everything, but neither of them is aware of it. When she hears it, she returns to her room and pretends to sleep. After a while, Ivan returns to the room and assures Nastya that we will leave the next morning, and now just sleep. When Nastya wakes up, she discovers that Ivan is not with her at that time. When she goes downstairs, she notices some pictures hanging in the corridor. That includes a male and female photo. Nastya inquires of Ivan's sister, "Where is Ivan? He is not in my sight." Liza claims he has traveled to the city to see old friends. Nastya finds it strange, but she accepts it as truth. Nastya then tries to call Ivan, but his phone is out of reach. When Nastya comes outside after a while, there are some graves. Liza also arrives at the same time. She gives Nastya a wedding gown to wear. Liza assists Nastya while she is wearing the wedding gown and ring. She mentions that the wedding gown and ring are part of the family's tradition and custom. Both were once owned by our grandmother, then by our mother, and now they belong to you. It denotes that you are a new daughter-in-law. You'll be wearing all of these things now, and, according to family tradition, you will marry again. Nastya is overjoyed, but she has never heard of such customs before, and she is researching these customs on her laptop to see what items are required. Some voices can be heard from the wardrobe while she is searching in her room. She is a little scared. When she opens the wardrobe, she discovers a hidden door. This hidden passage connects every room in the house. That is, it leads to every room, including those outside the room. Meanwhile, Liza's son arrives and says, "My sister is in this position, and her foot has become trapped somewhere. Will you assist us?" Nastya goes to that secret path with the intention of assisting. She assists the girl who has been liberated from there, and while observing a secret room, she wonders why it has not been visited. And Nastya and those two children enter that room. They notice a dark shadow in this dark secret room. They are all terrified when they see it, and the children exclaim, "She has arrived." Nastya, however, is unable to understand the children's spoken words. What are the kids saying? And who has arrived? Those kids are only talking about the bride. They return to their rooms without incident. Nastya is in her room, staring at herself in the mirror. Suddenly, she notices another Nastya there. It is not her reflection, but something else acting strangely. When Nastya sees it, she is terrified and rushes outside while running. Another Nastya appears in the mirror. Nastya is terrified when she sees her and collapses on the floor, losing consciousness. When Nastya awakens, she finds herself in the same house, but in the past. It implies that she is recalling past events. As she enters the house, she notices Ivan's grandfather. Many other people are present in that house, and they are all running downstairs from the upper room. People are preventing Ivan's grandfather from going upstairs, but Ivan's grandfather does not pause and enters the room forcefully. Nastya regains consciousness at the same time, that she is now in her present time. The old incidents were his fantasies that she had. It has a strong connection to reality. Nastya is now in his senses. Liza is also with her doctor friend, who gives her medicine and tells her she will be fine if she takes it. When Liza leaves, the doctor asks Nastya, "Are you a virgin?" in a friendly tone. Nastya feels strange when she hears it and wonders what question is being asked of her. Nastya claims that I am a virgin, but she is lying because she has previously married. This doctor was also a member of this family, which was unknown even to Nastya. Nastya then calls Ivan repeatedly, but his phone is still switched off. She informs Ivan via voicemail that she will be leaving the house. I sense a satanic presence in this house and am fleeing. She overhears Liza and the doctor's conversation as she is leaving the house. They are conversing because there may be a problem if Nastya is not virgin. Liza describes his brother, Ivan, as having completely changed and no longer supporting his family members. He has completely changed as a result of that girl's love. Nastya is almost running away from here. As she is driving away, she notices the doctor coming out of the house. The same doctor has begun to move at a location. Despite her reservations, she pursues that doctor. That doctor walks into the house where Ivan is being held captive. For the sake of his life, that doctor is giving her some edibles. When the doctor leaves, Nastya calls Ivan, but the sound is muffled by the thick glass of the window. Ivan, on the other hand, repeatedly asks Nastya to run, but Nastya understands nothing. Meanwhile, a bride appears from behind. As the satanic bride approaches, Nastya's nose bleeds, and she feels feeble and tries to flee, but she is unable to run because she has lost all strength. Nastya falls into a dug grave while attempting to flee. Horror surrounds her as she falls into the grave. It is only the bride who feels the presence of another being in the grave. After a while, the bride departs. Nastya then begins to emerge from the house, where Ivan's father assists her and brings her inside. Coming into the house, Liza and the doctor give Nastya drugged tea, causing her to lose her senses once more. Nastya vanished in the past years in the same house after losing her senses, and she sees Ivan's grandfather once more. You may recall Nastya catching a glimpse of the past a few years ago. Then Ivan's grandfather was pushing others upstairs to the room when Nastya noticed the next sight. Ivan's grandfather is currently present in a room with a girl, and Nastya is also watching everything as she stands in that room. This late girl appears sick, but satanic powers gradually infiltrate her and she resembles Satan. And after attacking Ivan's grandfather, she kills him, and it then begins to attack Nastya. The main plot is revealed here, as a machine is invented during Ivan's grandfather's time. Through this machine, the soul of a deceased person could be transferred to another human being, and the same thing happens here. First, Ivan's grandfather captures the photo of his deceased wife, as well as the soul of his real wife. But now the question is whether the soul requires a body. That soul requires a body. These people capture a village virgin who is buried in a grave. That image is also kept in the grave, where the soul can transition into a new human body. And, as it happens, a ring is also worn by that buried girl. That soul is transferred to that girl via the ring. That soul is not completely shifted when they dig the grave. So, that girl we saw earlier had murdered Ivan's grandfather. It means that evil forces have infiltrated that girl. Satan has possessed her. The film depicts a more distant time when Ivan's grandfather was photographing his deceased wife. In that photograph, the soul is also imprisoned. He keeps that photo hidden in a safe place. It's the same secret location where Nastya and her children got a bride's look. Nastya is now conscious and in the present moment. Nastya tries to flee, but she is apprehended and locked in a dark room. Nastya notices a living dead body that has been enchanted by the bride. Being bewitched, the dead body moves slowly towards Nastya. Nastya, terrified, tries to flee, but she is powerless. Meanwhile, Ivan arrives and saves Nastya's life by taking her out. Another thing is revealed here. A dead woman who follows Nastya is actually bewitched by the bride. This is why Liza and the doctor want to perform a ritual on Nastya, so that the bride's soul can be extracted from that old lady and transferred to Nastya. It means that their goal is to transfer the soul of the old lady to Nastya, so they're making plans. Now we get to the main story. Ivan is fleeing with Nastya towards his hometown. On the way, he begs Nastya's forgiveness, explaining that my family intended to harm you. I was aware of it to some extent. My family wanted to transfer the bride's soul into you, but doing so could cause you harm, which I never wanted but love you for. He also claims that this will continue until the bride's photograph is destroyed. It could be burned or torn. Hearing it, she remarks, "Perhaps I've seen that photo before. I was observing many things while living in your house and came across a strange photograph. And I know where you'll find this photo. And this photo is essentially in the same secret room where Nastya first saw it. An accident occurs with their car while they are driving. Nobody but Ivan's family members are to blame for the accident, so that they can harm them and perform a ritual on them. Ivan was not seriously hurt in this accident. These people welcome Nastya back into their home. Nastya is forced to perform the ritual. First, a ring is given to her, and then, after sealing her in a coffin, nails are driven into it. Nastya screams, "Leave me alone," but they don't feel sorry for her. The coffin is then placed in the grave, leaving dust on it. Nastya is crying in the coffin while looking at the bewitched dead body. That dead body gradually approaches her and begins to bewitch Nastya in order to transfer itself into Nastya. Throughout this entire process, Coffin trembles violently. This is a terrifying sight. Shivering Coffin comes to a halt. On the other side, we see Ivan, who is driving insanely. As he comes to, he begins to move towards the house. Returning to his house, he retrieves the coffin from earth. Nastya, who is completely bewitched by Satan, is aroused when the coffin is opened. Nastya has been taken over by this evil power. Nastya states, "This lady is not a virgin. It is the devil, not Nastya, who is speaking." When the people around Nastya learn that she is not a virgin, they flee in terror. Liza, the doctor, and the others realize they had made a huge mistake, and they will have to pay for their error. Nastya is losing her senses once more, and the bride emerges from the house, leaving Nastya's body behind. And then he murders the doctor. Liza's friend doctor is no longer alive, but Liza enters the house in order to save her children and flee. But she is in the same house where the bride enters, and Liza says, fearfully, "Don't harm my children. Allow them to go." The scene is cut here, and Ivan rushes over to Nastya. Ivan saves Nastya's life by raising her and apologizing for everything that has happened. And Nastya becomes aware as the bride throws Liza outside the house. Liza sustains minor injuries, but is otherwise unharmed. It means she is still alive. When Nastya, Ivan, and others hear these sounds, they rush to the secret room, and Liza soon follows. They are all present, but the bride is approaching and attacking them. Liza takes the ring off Nastya's finger and wears it herself, because she is aware of the ring's close relationship to the bride. When the bride notices Liza has worn her ring, she grabs her. Liza is also enchanted by the bride. The witch Liza appears in that secret room and requests the return of her children. Nastya refuses to do so because it is clear that she is not Liza, but the bride. Anyway, she's leaving with the kids. Nastya returns from the secret room with her photo, threatening to burn it if she does not leave the children. Looking at it, the bride walks away from the children and says, "Don't do anything to that photo." The bride attacks Nastya while they are conversing. Because of the attack, the photo in her hand has fallen to the ground. She is about to kill Nastya when Liza's daughter's voice is heard from behind her. "Don't kill her." Liza's senses begin to return after hearing her daughter's voice, and she departs Nastya. Liza is instantly enchanted by the bride once more. When she realizes she can't stop it, she burns herself with a photo. It means that neither Liza nor the photo exist. As a result, the bride has also left. Liza's sacrifice saves the lives of everyone in the family. This film's plot concludes here as well.